Welcome back to the Bitcoin predictions based on the Bitcoin astrology for the month of May, but none of this content is financial or investment advice. If you're new here, I'm Jack. I'm an engineer gone crypto astrologer. I combine technical analysis with astrology on this channel. Ignore the spam bots in the comments below. Don't get tricked by those. Watch this video all the way to the end, as I'll be giving my Bitcoin predictions at the end for the month of May. Smash the like button so we can get this video to 300 likes, and if we get it to 300 likes, I'll make an XRP, Solana, and Ethereum forecast video for May. And let's take a look at some of the previous predictions I made to see how I'm doing here. So this is the predictions video for the month of April, and let's see how I did here. I'm going to open this up here and get the audio and play this video clip here. That there's probably more continued volatility with the tariffs. There's definitely possibly a dump down into the 70s. It's possible, it's not guaranteed. Perhaps it could hold 80K. Then continued consolidation that possibly leads to higher prices in May, all right? Okay, so those are the predictions from last month. Let's see if we got that dump down into the 70s, just to review. And did we get continued consolidation that possibly leads to higher prices? So here's the handy dandy Bitcoin chart. Let's go back to last month, right here. We started April. Let's go through around there. Let's get the correct. Okay, here we go. So we start in April. Did we get that dump down into the 70Ks? Yes, we went all the way to 74,600. And then did we get consolidation that leads to higher prices in May? Well, we are looking like it so far. We have gone way higher than where we started the month of April. We started the month of April around 85K, and now we are at 94K. So it looks like we're very likely going to head into higher prices. So not bad predictions in the last month's video. Now let's take a look at the Bitcoin weekly close that we got here a couple days ago. If we zoom in a little bit more, the previous weekly close we got here at 93,800. Not bad. I would like to see us get above this red line here around 94,500. We are at that level right now, so that's not looking bad in the short term. Let's look at the RSI, and it's really good that we basically held this level down here at 44,000 approximately. This white line. And if we take a look at this trend line up here on the top, we topped out, March of last year. Then we got a lower high here on the RSI December 9th. And we could be heading towards another lower high. That would be bearish divergence. That would be, more of a bearish scenario where that could be the end of the bull run if it hasn't already. In the best case scenario, we head past this level, we get, and that level's at 78 on the RSI on the weekly scale. And even better case is we head past this one that we had in March of last year, and we head all the way back up here. That would be extremely bullish. Certainly possible, but the only problem is we've never had that happen before in a bull market. Historically, we've seen things like this. Where we get a top and then we get a lower high that forms here, and then that's the end of the bull market. Let's see what we got. Wow, it looks like we potentially got something like that in 2016, 2017, where we got a high, then we got a higher high, and then we almost got almost like a double top here in the RSI, and that was the market peak. So interesting there. I guess it's possible we could get something like that where, the only thing is we've already gotten a lower high here, but perhaps we could get like a double top around the same area here, heading into perhaps the summer or later this year. So very interesting there. On the stochastic RSI, we are getting a nice move up. So that is potentially a confirmed stochastic RSI cross up that we've gotten in the last couple weeks. I mean, there's still, I guess it still, if it did what it did in July in 2023, it could still cross down. But so far, so good on the weekly scale. If we go to the 2-week scale, we're also getting that cross up. If we go to the monthly scale, we're still going down. Looking good, at least in the short term. We're getting that stochastic RSI cross up. If we look at the monthly close, let's see what we're targeting here. So this video is being filmed before the end of April here, heading into May. So far, we're looking good. I would like to see us get a monthly close if we want to be really bullish above 95K. That would be ideal, as that would close above the wick of last month's close. If we look at the 2-month close, 2-month is looking good as long as we get above 93.4, which we are already above. Yeah, if we can, that's looking pretty good. So not too bad there. If we even go on the 3-monthly scale, same thing. If we can close about that 93.4. Another thing I want to take a look at is the Bitcoin dominance. And one thing that's very interesting is that we are getting very, very high. We haven't gotten a dump since, even a small dump since February, although that was pretty small, but really a sizable dump since November of last year. Every time we get a bit dump on the Bitcoin dominance, we get a little altcoin run. We still have not gotten a huge altcoin run like we did in 2021, where everything just kind of fell off a cliff. One interesting thing to note on the Bitcoin dominance is the RSI here. And this is on the weekly scale. And we got a peak in October of last year, right before we got the big run after Trump was inaugurated. And then we got a lower high here. Wait, that was actually 2 years ago. Interesting. And then a lower high here when Trump got inaugurated. And then we could be getting another lower high here. And so it could be another week or two, perhaps. And if it gets rejected here, if we get something like this, that could be a huge altcoin one potentially, because the last time that it got rejected off of this trend line, the end of October, we got the major run after the Trump inauguration. So are we going to be at something like that? Let's look in previous years, just like this. You know, we got a peak here, and then we got a lower high before things really fell off. And that was right before the mega bull run in 2021, where altcoins just went on a rampage before they bottomed out here around the 15 level. We still haven't gotten a major dump down in the RSI here on the Bitcoin dominance. I mean, this arguably December was a little one, but we have not gotten like a major altcoin run that brings us all the way down here, something like that. Maybe it's not going to be as much as it was in 2021. Maybe it'll be down like here, but you know, I could almost put a trend line here if we look at this, as this is a low and then a lower low. Could we be doing something like this where it makes another lower low if we get an altcoin run this year? The Bitcoin correlation with global liquidity is still looking potentially very strong, as things have been bottoming out here in the month of April. Well, we got that bottom and then a very strong move back up, extremely bullish. And so it's possible that we might need to even bring this global liquidity line back a little bit, potentially to line this up a little better. Or this is correct, and maybe there will be another little correction before another move up. But global liquidity just keeps going up and up and up, which is looking quite good. So if we do get risk on, this could be extremely bullish for Bitcoin and altcoins. If we do not get a risk on environment in the markets, then crypto may not follow this as closely. But so far, so good. Bitcoin's getting this huge pump. If we look at the altcoins, this is the others. The altcoins are starting to get a pump down there from the bottom as well. Started from the bottom, now we here. If we look at total 2, which includes Ethereum, Ethereum's starting to get a little bit of a recovery. That, you know, those altcoins, including Ethereum, are doing quite well as well. Ethereum is getting a little bit move up there. We need that. We need Ethereum to do well if we want altcoins to do well. So looking quite good. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the May general astrology. Okay, here we go. So this is the general astrology where the planets are in the sky right now. It has nothing to do with Bitcoin, but it can impact markets. May 3rd, we have Venus conjunct Neptune, but this is the third pass. Normally, I'd be pretty concerned about this. This can bring those feelings of euphoria, delusional thinking, confusion in the markets. Markets don't like that. But since this is the third pass, because Venus went retrograde last month, this is less powerful. So I wouldn't get too concerned about this. However, it is squaring the Bitcoin Pluto, and we'll get into that. So there is still a concern there, slight concern. May 5th, we have Mercury sextiling Jupiter, Mercury the planet of trading, making a positive sextile to Jupiter the planet of expansion. I like that. May 6th, we get Venus the planet of what we value, making a positive sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. In Aquarius, the sign of, ruled by Uranus, the planet of technology and crypto. So that's looking good. May 8th, concerning, we get the moon opposing Saturn. Now, typically this wouldn't be a big concern, but since this is around the Fed day, this is May 8th in Southeast Asia time zone. I believe it's May 7th. You just move everything back a day for the United States or Canada, all those countries over there. May 18th, we get Mercury, the planet of trading, squaring Mars. Mars is in Leo, slight negative there. But we get 3 positives towards the end of the month. That's looking good. Mars in Leo trining Venus. I like that. May 25th, Mercury is conjunct Uranus, the planet of crypto. That's looking great. May 26th, Mercury is sextiling Saturn. That's looking great. We can be building out a positive move up potentially around the second half of May. But then we look more specifically at what the planets in the sky, what aspects they're making specifically to the Bitcoin birth chart. We have May 3rd, Jupiter squaring the Bitcoin Saturn. Slight negative, not much of a big deal. But the problem is we have May 3rd, Venus is conjuncting Neptune, but it's squaring the Bitcoin Pluto. So there could be a possible dump May 3rd. It could be a small or a big dump. It's tough to say, but yeah, definitely a slight concern there. May 5th, Venus is sextiling the Bitcoin Mercury. That's good. Jupiter, planet of expansion, trining the Bitcoin Neptune. Not bad. We'll take that. May 8th, I was saying around that date, around the Fed day, you just take it back one day to May 7th on the U.S. time zone. Mars is on the Bitcoin ascendant, slight negative there. But then also we have Venus conjunct the Bitcoin moon. That's positive. And then May 9th, we have Venus squaring the Bitcoin Mars. Slight negative there. May 10th, we have Neptune squaring the Bitcoin Pluto. Negative. May 10th, we have the Sun sextiling Bitcoin Uranus. We'll take that. That's positive. May 13th, the full moon is squaring the Bitcoin Neptune. So there's a concern there on the full moon. Sometimes on the full moon, not every time, maybe a little bit more than 50% of the time, 60% of the time, we get a dump and then a pump. We get the pump after the full moon. So we could have a trough in the market around May 13th. Really give or take like 7 days, because it's not always totally accurate. There's a lot of manipulation in the market, so we have to deal with that as well. But look at the end of May. Look at this. May 19th. Saturn sextiling Bitcoin Jupiter. We have these four very positive aspects here, so that's looking great. We don't get any major negatives second half of May, so it's actually looking pretty bullish second half of May there. Then we get Mercury trining the Bitcoin Mercury, and then we get Mercury sextiling the Bitcoin Moon, Venus sextiling the Bitcoin Neptune. So we get those 4 positive transits there. Nothing to get super excited about, but it's just great that we're getting 4 positive aspects, no major negatives. That's looking good overall. But like I was saying, we have Fed Day on I believe May 7th, U.S. time zone, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. The first Fed meeting that we've had during the Trump tariffs, when the tariffs are live. And there's definitely some tension, I think, between Jerome Powell and Trump. Trump wants to lower interest rates. Jerome B. Powell is going to continue doing his thing, probably keeping rates paused. May 7th, Mars is on the Bitcoin ascendant. Now, this is actually in the U.S. time zone, lining up with the Fed day. So we get 1 negative, 2 negatives here. We only have 1 positive. And then May 9th, we have 2 other negatives as well. So it's looking like, definitely things are leaning on the negative side around this Fed day. So there is a chance, I mean, I can't predict the future exactly what Jerome Powell's going to say, but he could be saying something like they're not considering cutting rates or something like that. And then the markets could dump on some sort of news like that. So there could be a small or big dump around Fed day. That's what I'm seeing here. But we'll have to see what happens. Now, here's the Mars transit. So this is every sign that Mars has been in the zodiac, and then how the Bitcoin price has reacted historically. This is incredible data here. If we look at the orange where we are right now with the red arrow, that's Mars just came into Leo again. And the last time was in December when Bitcoin was, shooting past 100K. And historically, Mars does well in Leo, not extremely well, but we will definitely take that. It does positive. If you go back where the pink line goes in the negative, that was when Mars is in Cancer in the last few months, where Bitcoin and crypto were struggling deeply, where it really feels like altcoins have been in a bear market, arguably, and Bitcoin has dumped into the 70Ks. Now we're giving a recovery now that Mars has moved into Leo. The really good news is then Mars will then move into Virgo over the summer. And that Mars in Virgo does extremely well for the Bitcoin price action. So very interesting. I'm wondering if maybe this summer we might not want to sell in May and go away. We'll have to take a deeper dive look at that in future videos. So definitely subscribe if you want to continue to get updates on this incredible data here. Now, yeah, like I said, subscribe. You'll receive more epic crypto and astrology updates. Also, reminder to smash that like button, please, because if we get the likes to 300 likes, then I'll come out with XRP, Solana, and Ethereum update videos for y'all. All right, really want to support y'all on this exciting, confusing, up and down crypto journey here. All right, to get an edge using the power of astrology. Here is the Bitcoin seasonality. So how the Bitcoin price action historically happens for each month. So we look at the month of May. Bitcoin is typically doing pretty well, 9.49% up. So we'll take that. So yeah, could we be in the green heading into through the month of May heading into June? June historically is not so great. July is much better. August is not so great. September is a lot worse. But the last few months of the year, especially November, do extremely well. So are we going to continue this pattern again? This is pretty similar to what happened last year, where we got, a decent first half of the year and then a really strong finish. Could we be getting that again? It's pretty interesting. But overall, the month of May is looking, could be positive. So we'll take that. Quick announcement, the Crypto Astro Mastermind. If you still haven't joined this yet, we have one more spot left for the next month here. And this is this comes with a limited time bonus. When you sign up, you get complimentary access to a private crypto hodler breakthrough session with me. Now, this is a brand new session that I'm really, really, really excited about. It's extremely unique. You haven't seen anything like it before, especially in the crypto community. This is once again, if you sign up with the Crypto Astro Mastermind, you get this bonus complimentary. That's free. I'm going to give you this one-on-one amazing high-value private session for free. And the results you'll walk away with is clarity. Know your next step, your trades, your goals, your mind is sharp as a blade. You will have calm. You will feel ease. Even in bear markets, if we're heading into a bear market, your body's steady and ready. You will have increased confidence, be able to trust your gut, and hodl strong, act smart, and no more second guessing your trades. How it's different from other crypto sessions. Well, this is not just giving you crypto tips. It's also not even just looking at your astrology. I'm not going to tell you when to buy or when to sell. This is much, much deeper work. This is about rewiring your brain, your mind, and your emotions for wealth. No second guessing. yourself, okay? And this is body-based. This is not just up in the head only. In trading, we're always up in the head. We're looking at charts. We're trying to analyze things. But that's just the ego. That's just the head. We're going to dive much deeper into the body, into the breath, into grounding yourself, shifting your nerves from being a little bit anxious, a little bit up on the head all the time, to deeply grounded, calm, cool, and collected. We're going to dive into some energy work. We're going to let whatever blocks might be there in your subconscious, you may not even be aware of it, to come out in the open, to be healed and shifted. This will create a lasting shift. One session sparks calm, focus, and strength within yourself. Guys, you are going to absolutely love this session. I promise. It's mind-blowing and one of a kind. All right, so once again, if you sign up for the Crypto Astro Mastermind, for a limited time, you get this session free. And it's super high value, and I can't wait to share it with you. All right, so the moment you've been waiting for, the Bitcoin predictions. Bitcoin could have a small or big correction, like I said, around May 3rd, when Neptune and Venus conjunct, but they square the Bitcoin Pluto, or May 8th, which is really May 7th in the United States time zone. Give or take a week, because sometimes there's market manipulation. And the Bitcoin price likely moves up the second half of May, because we're getting super positive astrology for the most part second half of May. So I'll take that. So I am planning to buy the dip hard. If we get a big dip, I will probably go all in. All right, I'm about 15% cash right now. So that's my plan. That's personally what I'm doing. Once again, get this video to 300 likes, so that if we do that, I will come out with a Solana, XRP, and Ethereum update video with the astrology. So you guys will definitely love that. And we'll wrap it up once again with a beautiful picture of me and my daughter. She was just born a month ago. I am blissing out raising her right now. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.